Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm eating candy, but welcome to my channel. This is Alicia Dianne Art, and I hope that you guys are having a great Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? A Tuesday so far. Um, Sorry for the candy, but we're gonna be continuing right back where we were the last time, doing storyboards. I do have a different story that I want to try out. I'm still gonna be working on all my stories, but I think my candy would be so distracting. Anyway, I'll be done with it in a second, so hopefully it's not incredibly annoying, but that's kind of what this channel is anyway. But no, it's not really. Hopefully, anyway, it's not annoying. I hope I'm not, you know, annoying. But anyway, going off topic, we are going to be doing storyboards again this week. It's going to be so much fun. I promise, 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 because I have some really exciting thing I want to do, and I want to open this up if I can. And let me see if I can find the little thumbnail palette. And maybe if you're interested in getting one of these thumbnails, I can share it with you. But you have to let me know. Let's see. I'm going to switch to my Photoshop view. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time just because I want to try and be as efficient with time as possible. And it won't be as efficient if I don't, if I do it the same way, wasn't necessarily time saving. I think if anything, it was like more time consuming the way I was doing it last time. But let's hope that I can be more effective this way. And I'm going to give it a try. Let's see if I open this up. Okay, can you guys see pretty good? I think so. It's pretty good. Not bad, not bad. And let's see. Maybe I can even see. I'm gonna save this as. I'm gonna save it. Oh, I'm done with my candy then. Sorry, guys. I know I was going through the most. Anyway, I was too hot a second ago. I mean, I was too cold, and now I put on a sweater and turned the AC down, and now it feels too hot. But you know, that's I guess just how I go, guys. I'm always like doing the opposite of what it logically should be. But oh well, it's okay. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna save this as and I thought I had one for like comics and like that sort of thing, but oh well. Anyway, I guess, dang it. I thought I had like another sub menu, but apparently I don't. So, okay, I'm gonna save it as Photoshop. And I'm gonna save lion and sheep 1. Okay, so now that I have this ready to go, I am gonna pull from a script that I was working on. Actually, I just, sort of like pulled it together. It was a story that I heard from actually a Tony Robbins seminar. It was a really, what are those things called when people give like, geez, I'm trying to think of it. Like when people give stories to like relay a point, but it's not really like a story. It's like a paraphrase of like, parable. There you go. Jesus used to do it all the time. Anyway, it's like a parable, and like the parable was like, there's this. I could just tell you the whole thing, I guess. We'll go through it real quick. But there's this lion. There's a baby lion, and he for some reason his whole lion family is murdered or massacred, whatever, and he's adopted by this flock of sheep. So the baby lion goes off with the flock of sheep, and he starts to listen to them, and they're going ba ba, and so the baby lion starts to go ba ba, and then suddenly he's a big grown male lion still going ba ba. Anyway, he's fine for a while until pride of lion decides to come in and kill all of his sheep. So twice he's lost a family now, and so these lions come in and they're ruthless and they take all the sheep out and they see this baby lion. They're like, "What are you doing, man?" And he's like, "Bah bah." They're like, "What? You're a lion!" Like, and then he like looks and he sees himself. They show him himself like in the pond or in the water. They show him himself and say, "Look, you're one of us, not one of them." You know, stop saying "bah bah." And then he's like, I want you to, make our sound, which is a roar. So the lion notices himself and sees that he never was a sheep. Even though he lost his family twice, he's actually a lion. I know it's kind of sad, but it has a good moral to the point. It's kind of like, when you've been raised by sheep and you kind of act like sheep, but you never were. I mean, obviously, not real sheep, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so I decided to make this little mini story about it, and I'll just do the first couple of pages or so. And I haven't done any character designs or anything, and I think I'm going to try and leave it kind of simplified just for the fact of that this is not officially a storyboard yet, it's the thumbnails. So I want to just try and get the idea out on paper. I think that would be the most efficient use of our time rather than to try and, especially since we have a short limited time here live. But anyway, I want to give you as much as possible. So let's go ahead and do it up. And I have my little script here. I wonder if I should print it out or just go straight from my iPad. A little mini script. Which is about, right now, it's about a page and a half, but by the time it's done, it will probably be 4 to 5 pages. But I just wanted to get like the front of it done. Let's see, maybe it will print. Alright, so anyway, I'll print it, but in the meantime, I will just go ahead and start. So now I have on an African farm in the day, and I have a farmer tending to his lawn. So I'm gonna try and think of what does. I want to have like an establishing shot. So let's see if I can do sort of an establishing shot. I want to kind of keep it very simple, but have like layers to this. Alright, so it's printed. So that means I just working from my page. Alright, and maybe I have a little, I want to like show the audience where we are in some ways. We just have a little bit of landscape. There's some mountains. Maybe there's like a distinct tree. Maybe there's like a house over here. And like field. And there's lots of sheep around. Sheep are just kind of hanging out over here. So hopefully, even if it's not like incredibly clear, at least it will be like kind of clear. Alright, and so I'm gonna have my farmer on the next panel. And he is just gonna have, I should actually draw his body first. Let me try to get the whole thing on the page. And I'm gonna try and keep it really basic. He's got like a hat. Something to make him sort of stand out a bit. Meanwhile, these sheep are back here someplace. house and try to make his sheep a little bit more recognizable as sheep in the moment. And let's see. And if I wanted to come back and go ahead and add like name all these layers and stuff, I'll be able to do that. So I'm going to put here like page 1 so I know for my own information. And he's tending while the sheep graze, and so now the focus is more on the sheep, so we're going to zoom in this way and we're going to have some sheep, and I'm going to do sort of like what I was doing before and kind of lay out the platform a little bit so it's not just like super flat. Keep it a little bit of distance, but I don't want to make it too close, I don't think. Not yet. And I'm going to have them just sort of grazing. And I'm going to have a couple more. I'm going to throw in some more. These sheep creature things. And let's see. All right, so I have that, and then let's see. Now we're going to cut to her of an open field. Maybe grazing, and maybe you see a different angle of like the horizon. Where's the horizon coming from? It's coming from like this way. This way is like grass. This is where the tall grass starts. And over here we have the mountain scale from a different angle. And you can see the sheep are closer over here. Here's one really close to the, closer I'd say, the camera from our point of view. Yeah, it feels super hot. I shouldn't have turned the AC down right before I started this, because now all of a sudden it's beautiful. So give me 1 second. And I'll use this as a guide when I go over it with my other layers and do like character designs and things like that. And I will show you guys that. But for today, I want to try and just map out some ideas. And of course, these are interchangeable. If I get a better idea, if I want to add more, take away something, then I'll be able to do that. That's what thumbnails are for. Thumbnails are totally flexible. You can put them in, take them out. You can interchange them. You can change your angles. You can do all of those things. But if you're happy with it the first time, then that's what I do. And let's see. All right. So my sheep are in the distance. Nah, let's see. No sheep graze in the tall grass in an open field. And now we're cutting to the grasslands. And so what I'm gonna do, see, hold on a second. I'm gonna put something on for my background. All right, they have Golf Breaks the Internet on Netflix now. Look at that. Okay. So in the grasslands, they have a male lion in the distance with binoculars, and he is. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna cut to behind his shoulder. I just think that will show it better. So maybe this is my line. And I just think it would give like a better understanding of where he is in retrospect to where the sheepies are. So here. Maybe a couple of layers. You can see how I'm gonna do this. My plan of action. And the house is like over here somewhere. The distance, and another sheep. And mind you, I'm still using that rule of thirds, so that was to divide this thing into three. I have his head in one spot, and I have the sheep in another spot, so I am keeping in mind that I want to use that rule of thirds. So this is the back of his head, which is kind of, I want to show his arms because he is kind of like looking out into the distance over there. And let's see what else can I put. Do like a banana tree over this side, just so it's not too empty, and keeps your eye somewhere in there. These are it's just like the grasslands. There is grass in the grasslands. So he's looking out, and then I'm going to do his close-up. Maybe I should make these binoculars even bigger. I think I can make them bigger. Just give it like that comedic sort of like ridiculousness. Like what? How the heck did lion get giant binoculars like that? Well, welcome to Crutches. That's how he got them. Maybe he's like smiling too. He's like they're like and he's I know he's silly. He's really happy to see all those sheep. He got like some teeth showing back there. He's ready for it. So you can just see like really what are his paws looking over there? But the binoculars are so big that they're kind of covering a lot of them. And how do I make it look like a lens? I'm going to think about a rounded shape, kind of do that light cutoff. So that would be one way. You can shade this out a little bit. Oh, and shade this out a little bit because he is really like got his eye out. He's got his mane. We're looking at those feet back there. All right, so these are his binoculars, and let's see. Female's lion. He is ready to eat them, so maybe he takes them. Maybe he takes the binoculars down. And he has female lions and one cub behind him, so maybe now he's just like in the corner, just on this side. Sort of like an I Spy, sort of a like a half face on it. Like, should I give him big eyes or should I give him, I think big eyes might be more funny. What should I do with angry? Maybe that will work. Don't want his mane to take up too much space. So maybe. Anyway, so he's looking. Maybe the female is over here. Checking him out. Like, what are you doing, bud? What are you looking at? Mm-hmm. She sees him saying something, but she doesn't know because she doesn't have her binoculars out. Make about 3 females. Doesn't specify in the script, but and make it so. And for those of you guys who don't know, I chose lions too, not just because I'm inspired by the Tony Robbins story, but because I am also working on a project called 1,000 Lions for Kenya, where I'm doing 1,000 lion drawings, illustrations, designs, you name it. It's all lions, and it's sort of a like it's a fun process for me to see the ways that I'm trying to stretch myself in order to draw more lions, and and I really end up like pushing myself sometimes because I'm like, oh man, how can I draw more lions? To me, like today, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do storyboards and storyboards. I'm going to be doing storyboards, and I'm going to like be writing. So why not like write a story based on lines too? And I've done like a couple of other things, a couple of other short stories and things with lines, but it's been a minute since I've done it, especially for the attention of animation. So I was like, this might be a way for me to kind of incorporate, 1,000 lions and still do an interesting story and all those things. So I have one, I have 2 female lions. I wanted to do one more, so she should be. I feel like I should have probably put that one a little further over, but I think I'll move these guys over. I'll move her a little bit here. Move this one a little bit here. And I will make my last lioness laying down. And once you've drawn 1,000,001 lines from like live reference or photos and stuff, it starts to become, and this is with anything. Like, I don't even know if I knew incredibly well how to draw lines before, but it's since trying to really doing this project is really got me to think of ways to draw them and trying to narrow down. And you can use that with anything that you want to get better at drawing, like anything that you want to learn more. Give yourself a project or think about how you can make it useful. I mean, or just draw that thing that you want to draw every day for maybe 30 days and just reevaluate after that. Could just be one quick sketch or whatever. And for me, the 1,000 Lions thing started in 2015. So it's been a minute. Not 2015, I'm sorry, 2016. That was 2015 is when I started the bigger project, which is JD's story. And this kind of grew out of that, but that's a whole nother, I'll leave that for another day. And actually, let's see. I wanted to make their living quarters somewhat interesting. So maybe they have a little weird funky, I want to use this funky tree kind of everywhere, but
Actually, I really like the way they look. I want to give it some kind of unique flair. So maybe there's like a den here somewhere. I don't know how many lions stay in den anymore, but seems legit. Why wouldn't a lion stay in a den? Isn't that why they created the word lion's den? Anyway, for another day, I'll save that for another day. Anyway, let's see. You still want people to know that we're outside here. Okay. We draw a couple of little sprigs of grass. So here is our big bad wicked lion male. But he is excited for these sheep. He's like, I could even like do the gag further and like give him sheep in his eyes. Maybe I will. I mean, that's kind of a cheap gag, but I mean, that's what cartoons are made for, right? It's just kind of like a cheap gags. In a sense, that's kind of what we do. I mean, you kind of have to own it. If you don't own it, then you're in denial about this field. Because we are, in a lot of sense, a bunch of cheap gags. But if we can make them be cheap gags with heart, I remember I was at a panel talk, and here I go again with my stories. I was at a panel talk with this producer, and she wasn't like a nobody either. She was a pretty known producer. She actually started Women in Animation. Her name starts with R. Oh man, I forgot it off the top of my head. But anyway, I know I have her business card. I keep it in my desk. But anyway, my point is, and I read her book too, which was actually really good. But that's beside the point. If you want to know more about that, you can message me. But her name is Rita. That's her name. Rita something. I'm sure she'll love to hear this. Anyway, I can't find it right now. But her name is Rita something, and she she did a panel talk for Women in Animation, and she was saying, I don't know if she said this in a panel talk or in a book, but she was saying, that it's like pretty much saying like it's okay for like you to have like you know silly jokes in your animation in your stories because I mean this is animation. But when she came up with was this formula, it was pretty funny. It was what is it? Art? What is it? It was like it was fart plus heart. Yeah, it was fart plus heart equals smart. It's so dumb, but anyway, fart plus heart equals smart. And I'm gonna say hashtag Rita. I don't remember your last name, but anyway, um, it was kind of saying that it's okay to have like your silly jokes, whatever, in animation. People kind of expect that from animation, but the key is to you know still, even if you're making silly gags, still do something meaningful in your stories, in your writing, in your animation, which is in your comics, which will ultimately be. Um, so I hope that makes sense. I think it does. But it's having your gag jokes and your silly jokes, but also, having a deeper story and having something to say and having like a moral to your story or something that's more powerful than just the fart. You want to have the heart in there too. And if you are able to incorporate both of those things in a sincere way, then that's pretty smart. I'll leave, I'll leave that alone. But I'll leave that little mantra up there for you. I mean, people will probably log in and go, okay, what does that mean? But you'll know. It'll be our little secret. All right, so the next panel is, let's see. Oh yeah, I did want to add a little, um, he is so ready. And I wanna, maybe I'll just copy this one, copy this panel. Let's see, and I'll just move it over. I just copy and pasted it, and that's okay to do with your That's okay to do with your storyboards and stuff like that. It's totally not a big deal. So I'm gonna just keep the same sort of panel, but I'm just gonna change it a little bit. It's gonna be like if this was on film, it would be just a microsecond, but it's like a gag that I think is worth it, and I'm going to go for it. So he's kind of gone from smiling to now, and he's still smiling, but he's like licking his chaps. He's like lip smacking over here. And he sees his sheep like in his eye, like a little. He sees a sheep in his eye. Anyway, I think it's worth the gag. And maybe they're like judging back here, like seriously, dude, like really? Oh, he's a little bit concerned. And it's just gonna be like for a second, it would show on screen, just like, hmm. Okay, so anyway, that's my gag. And that's your job if you're making storyboards, is how can I take the script and make it funnier? And I think I talked about in the last video, but I want to reiterate that because I think it's valuable and important to say that. How can I take the script and make it funnier? Make it more interesting to watch, make it more appealing, more charming, all of that. What can I do to make it better? And that's your job if you're doing storyboards. Otherwise, then whatever. You can just do stickmen through the whole thing, and just you know flat, boring, whatever. I'm gonna make the plane here since he's standing on a plane. I want to make a bit more of a plane here, so it's a little bit clearer. I'm just kind of thinking about this. So anyway, ah, oh god. All right, that's a little bit more like I'm gonna save and let me think of what the next panel is going to be. I am going to now. So he's looking at it, looking really thirsty, and he's gonna motion for everyone to move. So now I'm gonna have him. Maybe the lionesses are back here. They're watching him. It worked because I mean, even though they still like judge him, he's still the big papa. He's still kind of calling the shots, and and women want to hear what he has to say. Because if you've ever seen a lioness with her lion, she's awfully attentive and really wants his attention. They really do care about their lions. Even though they are the ones that do the hunting, they care about their lions, and the lion is the one that's going to eat first, so and protect them from the hyenas. So they're still listening to what he has to say, even though they're low key judging him. All right, so there they are, and he's going to be like over here. And he's blindly free. And he's going to be like, come on, ladies, let's roll. Not exactly like that, but you get the point. He's going to be like, let's move. Total nonsense. I don't want his face. I'm going to change his face. But you see me doing it on these little tinier thumbnails makes it a lot easier for me to make changes, and I don't have to spend as much treacherous time, even though, got my train of thought for a second. Studios. Yeah, that's kind of what he's saying. And even though he's not really, he's kind of saying that. Anyway, he's here. So, as I say, I got both this and the link that I put in the description, which I also put in the last week, in the last time we did Storyboard Mastery, which I think was week before last. Um, and let me see, what was I going to say? So, I mean, technically, you should be doing it this way first because it's gonna save time, and people like to save time in the studios because saving time is saving money. So they probably wouldn't want to see you doing a big, large scale, like, panels right off the bat. But that was just the way I did it last time. So, but this way it's going to be easier, and I would recommend doing it with small thumbnails first. It will save you hours of work because you can really, you don't have all the pressure when making your first little thumbnails, and you're going to be able to experiment more, which is immediately going to make it funnier. It's going to make it more daring. It's going to make you feel more confident, and it's going to be a ton faster. So I think it's a win-win to just do them small first, and then afterwards go ahead and you can clean them up, and you can scale them up if you want to, or just clean up. And as if you're doing it digitally, that you don't really need to scale them up. You just need to make sure that you're working on a large file size. So you don't want to, make sure you check your DPI, make sure you go to your settings and your canvas size and see that you're getting at least 300 dots per inch. If you're working smaller than that, it's not big enough. Anyway, I hope that didn't sound Chinese or the Swahili or Peruvian or whatever. Peruvian's not a language, but if that sounded totally foreign to you, don't worry, we'll get you through this. And we'll get you through this with minimal damage. I will do my best. Okay, so he's over here. He's ready to move. And let's see, he's up. And those sheep are back there in the distance. They're like up here. So the grasslands are here. It just gets denser and denser grasslands. But he is ready to move. You can hear some grass and stuff. That tree again. Instead of framing him a little bit, I want to think about how to frame my guy. Sheep are over here. They're not that close. I don't want it to look like they're too close to where they are. They have to track a little bit to get there. So the sheep are up on the hill, or up on this wedge of land, whatever. And the house is back here too. The house is like over here somewhere. Okay, so they're there, the sheep are there. All right, and maybe there's a cloud or something here. Just to frame it in. All right, so we are done with our first page. Yay, we are done with our first 369 panels. I don't even think we did that many in the whole 2 hours we were here last time, so that is a good thing. And the next one, we are going to go to, let's see, oh yeah, so they're getting ready to go. All right, so the females, I'm gonna make the females start to follow suit. So, and right now what I did, I just made another layer, and I have that first layer just off of view, and I'm going to just go ahead and start to see what that den looks like. Don't you remember what the den looks like? Because that's going to be in this frame. We're just getting a little closer now. I want to put the cub in view. I want the cub to be watching, like, what are you guys doing? Where are you going? Like he doesn't really get what just happened. He's kind of out of the loop. He was in his own little cub world and wasn't really paying attention. So as you can see, I've elaborated on the original story that I got inspired by from the Tony Robbins conference, but which I saw on Netflix. If you haven't seen it yet, it's that I'm Not Your Guru. It's so good. I really love it. I've watched it like maybe at least 5 times already. But anyway, probably more than that. But I want to have these lions. They're not even arguing. They're just doing what lions do. They're going out for the hunt, and they're not questioning their leader. They're just going out to do what they do. I'm not using any references. I'm just drawing from my head right now. Thankfully, I've had enough practice with lions that I feel moderately confident in just being able to submit with these guys. If you need references, I would just post them right up on the page with you and just have that on a separate layer. Like you saw last time I was doing penguins, I hadn't done any extensive research on penguins ahead of time, so I just go ahead and pasted a layer of a penguin right there, a couple of penguins right there on my same file, just in a separate layer, so I could turn it off and on. And that is, I think, the best way to do it, especially with animals or anything that you just want to have that reference so you can get it right. So don't feel like you can't do that. You can keep it on the same file, just put it on a separate layer, and that's it. And then you just go. So here are my lions. Another female right here. I want to make it look like the cub is all alone right now. That's what I want to do. I want to make it look like he's totally out of the loop and he doesn't really know what's going on. Maybe I should make him smaller. He looks a little bit big. So I'll just go ahead and just keep his head big and make his body smaller. He's just like, meow. You. Oh, I feel bad for the poor guy already. All right, so they're just doing what lions do. Sorry, Cubby. Going out for their hunt. Okay, so 1, 2, and there should be one more female, so maybe I'll just make the end of her right here. You can still see her tail or whatever. And there's grasslands behind them. Get a little bit of texture in here. because they are in the grasslands. And maybe I'll just go 1, 2, and just give it a little bit of sense of space. The distance from where he is to where they are. And if you have trouble telling, practice some perspective. There's tons of perspective videos out there. I mean, I would say in the old times and go take a class, but I mean, you can do that too, and it'd probably be helpful. But in the meantime, you can begin on your own. And then, like, the benefit of having a class is someone will point out what you're messing up at. You can't do that on your own. You can learn from watching, but from taking a class, there's someone there to say, hey, you messed up here, do this. And that is the biggest benefit to being in a classroom setting. And let's see what else we got here. So he says, and maybe we're gonna pan in on him. So maybe I'll just do a little. Maybe I'll do that in a separate one. Should we do that separate? Yeah, I'm gonna do that separately. I'm gonna use Alt and just copy this. And maybe I'll make it a little bit closer so you can actually see what I'm doing over here. So I'm gonna change the size and make it maybe 20%. It's too much. 110%. Okay, that looks like that works. And I'll just delete the overflow. And let's see. So now I can just draw right over my old drawings without worrying about, you know, if I'm messing them up or not. And that means that tells whoever's operating the camera or the director and everybody who's looking at this that that's going to zoom in right here on this guy right here. Boom. I'll have to circle him, but the arrow will show this is what we're going. This is where we're going with that camera. And he's going to be just a young poor guy, poor fella. All alone, but don't pity him yet. He's got a lot of hard things to go through. Poor thing. And try and incorporate those big sloppy paws because those cubs, they just have like these terribly big feet for their size. If you want to feel bad for little fellows. It's just like, we'll give him really big in his eyes. Really big ears. Oh, the ears make him cute. So, you know, hair sticking up right here. And so I'm just gonna draw my little cub real quick. Just a baby. He's concerned. He's like, why is everyone leaving? Where are we going? I'll give him a voice, but it's just kind of what I want him to express. And I can feel it more if I say it. You know, there's no audio. I still want to kind of feel what my characters are going to say, what they're saying. And here we go. I don't want to draw a little bit of shadow. I just like it. Okay, so here we go. He's looking worried and concerned, but I think there's a happy ending somewhere, somewhere in this story. So he's there all alone. Okay, let's see it. I'm gonna make sure that I write page 2 here so I know where I'm at. And let's see. Emails. So I'm gonna have them, they're on their little voyage now, so I'm gonna kind of use a little bit of perspective now actually. Use it to our advantage. I have the mail line here. He's walking right in the middle of the screen. You can see him. And you can notice him from that big huge mane he's got there. Okay. So he's walking, and let's see. The females are walking with him. Oh, come too close. Can I keep him? Oops. Step forward. Alrighty, so let's see. So the female, about here, and give her in perspective a little bit. So she's following him. I cannot take this call right now. Hold on 1 second. Let me grab it for 1 second. Hello? Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the little delay of my husband. He's on the road out of town, but wanted to make sure that I had a hold of him really quick. I'm gonna delete this like here. It's kind of in a kind of awkward positioned. And let's say, I have to kind of think of the lion too in perspective. So probably a head smaller here. I think not a master perspective, but I'm trying to at least get a sensible drawing out of this in a way that makes sense to everyone. And see if I can pull this off or not. Alright, I don't know if this is really the most perfect perspective lion, but hopefully it at least makes some kind of sense, and I will definitely go over it and make sure that I get it better each time, and I think I can. Starting to make more sense. Sometimes a little bit of trial and error. Even when you've done things a couple times, gotta do them a couple more times. You know, to make some sense. All right, not bad. Maybe I'll have her other paw. Am I pushing it to try and do the other paw? Probably am pushing it. But in the wrong spot. There. Should be around here somewhere. All right, so this was one of the more challenging poses, but I think that we made it through fairly unharmed. Not completely unharmed, but fairly unharmed. And should be another lion over here. Dare I try, but I will do it. I want to show you guys that you can do it. And how else can I do that other than to try and then to do it myself? All right, so I want to do doing a little bit of a daring angle pose, but I think it can be done. Believe this. So, thank God for wildlife drawing, huh? All these time drawing animals has helped me understand a little bit. Anyway, all right, so. All right. Now I'm gonna try and this lassie moving. And I'm gonna try So it's back here. All right. So, and this is without reference, guys. So forgive me if it's taking a little bit, but I'm trying to get these angles right for you, at least moderately right. So they're trekking after the big guy on this path through the grasslands to get those sheep. Or his mane a little bit. Stand out just a bit. And you can do the lines here too for the path, the road, and whatever you want to call it. Okay, so there we go. Some clouds in the sky, and the hills out in the distance. On this part of her drawing where it's like part of the hill, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to make them more different. So maybe they're up here. Alright, so that was a challenging panel there, but it's still a thumbnail. So good news is by the time we get to the finished product, it should be a lot stronger. And let's see if we can get through the rest of this page. And so the females following the male, and actually the male was supposed to be following the female, but I think for this frame I'll leave it. I'll leave it. Oh man. Okay, I'll leave it for now, and perhaps I will rearrange it. So if I was going to do the females following the male, I could do it. Let's see. Let me try this on a separate layer and see if I can do this for you guys. And let's see, let's move this over. So let's say, all right, and I would just have to separate everything into its own layer and then readjust the size. I think it can be done. Let's see. And you see I'm not working on the original, I'm working on a copy. That's how you work. You don't want to mess up your original. So I'm going to move him. Obviously he looks tiny now. If I put him down there, he looks super tiny. But he's kind of got to be back here. And let me see this. So let's separate these guys too. And you can do this traditionally too. It just takes a little bit more time. You would make a copy. You can make a copy instead of using a lasso tool. You can use scissors and copy again, but shrink it down and put it back on the original. I mean, all of this stuff that's done digitally can be done, believe it or not, traditionally. It just takes a little bit longer. And let's see. Cut. I'm going to paste it. I'm just going to make her smaller, maybe. For the perspective aspect. This is 50% smaller. And let's see about the other one. She's here. If I just need her, cut her out. So the idea is that the male was supposed to be following the female, and I had the females following the male because I want the male to direct the hunt, but I want the females to actually be the ones who pursue it because they are females, by the way. Let's see. If I take this down, and do 50 on this one too. No, not 50. It's 60. Let's see if I like this one as much. Let's see how that works. And I think that's it. So whether he's in front or behind, I don't know yet. See what I can do with this. All right, and that's where's our mail at? And I made him bigger. Yeah, I don't know. I think I might just keep it. I mean, this would be a way that I could do it, but I might just have him be in the front for now. And then let the women go ahead and lead the hunt anyway. But he's kind of leading the path. All right, so let's see. Oh, and I think maybe I can still do this. Let's see. I just move this over. And I'm just selecting it and moving it over. And this part over too. So maybe I can just do it like that. I just feel like it's a stronger image with him, the first one. That could work, but I'm not sure about it. Oh well. Should I leave it? Which one do you guys think? What should I do? Should I leave it as the script says, or should I? I'm not going to delete this, but I will use the second one just for now, just because that's how the script has it for now. But I won't delete this. What the heck? Oh, I think I was on the wrong layer when I copied. Okay, so where's this one at? Back to this layer. Sorry, this part. Sometimes monkey gets in your wrench or whatever the saying is. Sometimes stuff happens and you're not really prepared for it, but you are prepared for it at the same time, because that's just what we have to do. You have to just roll with the punches or whatever that saying is, because stuff happens that you're not going to expect, and don't get upset about it. So lion cut is what I'm going to name it. And there. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to move this over so he's in the back where he's supposed to be for this purpose anyway. And so they're in the front now, he's in the back. How does it look like? I feel like it needs one more frame in between, just to clarify why, how, I mean, maybe obvious, but I think I want to clarify how they got in the front. So go, they're moving forward. Maybe he is just watching them go ahead of him. He's just observing at this point. So right now I'm just adding an extra panel because I think it would serve the kind of purpose of how these females got ahead of him. Maybe he's giving a little bit of an evil smirk. Or a sinister, I should say. Not evil, but sinister. I don't want to make my lines too likable. Everything you do with this has to be intentional. If I wanted the audience to fall in love with my lion pride, then I would personalize them more. I would give them more close shots. I would give them more personality. But because they're dying so soon, I think take all of that into account. Because they are dying so soon, I don't want to over personalize them because it would be too hard for the audience. It would be too hard for me, and it would just probably make people turned off by my story altogether. So, for the purpose of me knowing what's about to happen, I kind of want to dehumanize them a little bit or make them kind of goofy, like how he's got his little sinister stare, so you don't feel too horrible when they all perish. So that's, there's a reason for everything when you're making stories. So just take those type of things into account. I mean, if you want to break people's hearts, you can, but I don't know how popular your stories could be. I mean, I'm sure they probably could be, but that's not my style, so that's not what I'm going for. I don't want to make them too lovey and then just take them away. Some people might do that. It's just not what I want to do. I want to make it more lighthearted and like, oh, okay, I guess they're dead now. All right, so there's my lion guy, and let's see. It's got a little pixelated when I blew it up, but that's okay. And just go over it a little bit. Hips are always on an angle of the weight that you're carrying along. So whatever side of your hip your weight is on, you're gonna stand that way. It's gonna have an angle up. So even if it's a human and you're standing with your weight on one leg, per se, your other slack hip is gonna be going down a little bit, and your foot with the weight is gonna be up. So just to keep in mind, even if you're standing fairly straight up, that's just a little tidbit, I should say. 100 number. Anyway, but I add that in. Let me move. Oh, what happened? Okay, there we go. Now what I'm doing. Alright, I guess I'll just delete this. Because it doesn't want to undo anymore. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so I have my guy, and maybe the lions are just really walking past him. Maybe they're giving him a little approval, or like, yeah, let's do this, guy, or something like that. Maybe they're just, giving them their little whatever. This one makes sense from here, from point A to point B, which is here. So from here to here, I want it to make sense. That's why I add A plus. So it's just like a segue. Okay, how did they get? I mean, obviously you can make it in your mind, but I just kind of wanted to make it make sense more. How they got from being behind him to being in front of him, and just showing that just even for a second makes it a little bit more clear. And clarity is really key with everything. With everything you do, clarity is going to be the number one thing that gets you to where you're going. So she's like, okay, I got you. And he's just watching. Maybe the other ones are already up front. They're already ready to go. She's like, I got you, boo, whatever. And one's already up here. And let's see what else. And maybe there's another one. Where's the other one? The other female is over here, this side. Maybe not so close to the edge. Don't want it to be like a bad tangent sort of a deal, but maybe fairly close to the edge. I don't know how popular this is going to be, but Wreck-It Ralph, I saw it too, but Ralph Breaks the Internet was kind of terrible. I needed something to put in the background. I already knew I wasn't a fan, but it doesn't make me angry or anything. Like some movies just like make me angry to watch, and I won't watch them. So it doesn't make me angry, but it's kind of a horrible movie. It was a very, and I might have talked about this in another film, but it was a very, it wasn't a very Disney-esque movie. It was definitely like a illumination type of movie, which is not a compliment for Disney, especially. Like, oh well, that's my opinion. Hopefully, I don't get tomatoes thrown at me. But if you're a Wreck-It Ralph fan, but Ralph Breaks the Internet was really, it was all fart and no heart, which is not good. You can have heart, you can have the fart, but you gotta put the heart in. If not, it's just fart. It's just fart by itself, and that doesn't smell good. So I know. Overly metaphoring now, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I know. You get what I mean, right? Hopefully. Anyway, We are almost time's up here. I think we did pretty good though. I'm not disappointed. Took some parts took a little bit longer than expected, but that is the process. So you can expect to have those things when you're making your storyboards. A couple of roads that are closed, and you have to find alternate routes, and all that is to be expected. And just hopefully they don't take up more time than necessary. And I could probably and to make sort of a platform with the how far they are from the where the plane of the ground is. I can kind of do that a little bit here. So here's the taller grass, and ahead of them, forest of a lovely farmer's house with all the sheep and stuff on this beautiful afternoon. Okay, so I think I will see if I can. Let's see. I'll make one more panel. I think. Let's save this. So even though we didn't do everything, we did a good chunk. And so the sheep are grazing. And let's see. Oh, okay. So the females follow. The females are I put and in front. Females are in front. The male follows. Females are in front. The male follows. Pussy behind. The cub pulls the lion's tail, and his eyes say, "Don't go." Okay, so let's do that. So here's the male, his tail. Let's see, the male's here. Maybe let's tell it's the male. We have really square type of hip things happening. So let's do that. Maybe I'll even be able to finish this page. Let's see that if they go quickly enough, I might be able to. I'm just going to do one more panel, but this might lend itself to more. So let's see. All right, so this tail's kind of moving. It's not kind of moving, the tail is moving. One person has been screaming, not screaming, but singing incredibly loud outside of my window all day. Hopefully it's not a secret admirer. I highly doubt that, but I don't know. It's something. Somebody's been really singing it now. Oh, well. So anyway, his tail's moving. There comes Cubby. Should I do that in a separate panel? Got the tail. All right, now I'll do it beside this. Cubby trying to come out. Making an animated film is harder than you thought, huh? This is just the beginning. There's a whole lot more to the process. And so he's gonna grab the tail. His mouth, of course, because he is a lion cub. He's different. He's like, don't go. I don't want you guys to go killing stuff, you know. Of course you would want that. That's how he's gonna eat. But you know, this is animation. So he grabs the tail. lion cub doesn't know what he's getting himself into. Or just don't bite down in the tail. You might end up losing yours. But you know, that's where he's at. No, that's a tail. So he grabs the tail. I know I said that like 5 times, but that's all it takes to draw a panel. He grabs the tail. Sorry. I don't want to be obnoxious. And then the male looks back, of course, like, what the heck are you doing? Like, he's mad. He doesn't want his tail grabbed. Thankfully, I just drew a growling lion yesterday. I don't know how much it's going to help me, but I think it'll help. He's like, hey, what's wrong with you, boy? Okay, so he's mad. He's like, why are you grabbing my tail? And then I'm going to give a little bit of a reaction. He's feeling remorseful. He's like, I didn't mean to, but I have something to say. And of course, I speak in the character's voice when I'm drawing them because this helps. It's going to help you to get the emotion on your drawing. So he doesn't really mean it, but nevertheless, he did it. I want to get that tail angle a little bit better. I'm just gonna keep going one at the other, and I like how this is coming out. Happy with it. Okay, let go my tail, boy. Let go my ego. And the lion cub, of course, is looking up at him. Do a down view, so kind of like from the papa's. It's kind of callback to like this shot right here. Yes. Now we're doing it from this other angle. My goal was meant to practice more angles, so kind of an upshot. He's like, oh, daddy. Oh, daddy, I love them. Daddy, I love sheep. Sort of thing. You just want your heart to kind of melt a little bit when you see how sad the lion cub is. But his instinct kind of knows better. No, you shouldn't be chasing sheep. You need to get a zebra or whatever. And he's like, no, Papa. Papa, no. Whatever. And how I'm going to get it to be more angry, I was thinking about where his body is. And do more of a down shot to give him that the point of view of the father looking down on the little cub here. First one to have the help us look in his eyes. Oh. Give him extra glare in his eyes. Give him those puppy dog sad eyes. No, he's not a puppy dog, he's a lion. Give him that, view. That angle. And give it a little bit more clarity so you can see that this is, and the darker things are usually further away until you go into far distance, then things get lighter when they go away. But in close perspective, things get darker when you're far away, and long distance, like when you see mountains and stuff, and you have, the idea that there's hundreds of feet of layers of dust. That's why things get lighter in distance, and the sun reflects off the dust that makes it lighter and harder to see. But for something fairly close, this is the angle. And I'm kind of just gonna draw the grass all around him just so you know that even further clue that yes, you're looking down on this poor little baby lion who is looking sad. And I'm facing it all outwards from his perspective, if you didn't catch that. So all of the grass is going outwards. Gives him more perspective. Okay, and I'm gonna save, and that is our day. We did pretty good, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this session. I had a blast, honestly. So hopefully, if I did, then you did too. I had a lot of fun doing these lines today and working on storyboard and working on angles. And I really think this was an awesome session. Let me know what you think. If it wasn't, for whatever reason, let me know in the comments. And I will do my best to keep on improving these videos and make them better and more suited to everyone's liking. I mean, obviously, won't please everybody, but people who are really, truly interested in this channel, I want to, make these interesting and helpful for you. So let me know if there's anything you'd like to see or see more of any of that. And I will see you guys next time. I'm going to be gone this week. I'm going on a trip to New York, my hometown. But I will be back next week, and I will be back with the videos. So I'll see you guys, and take care, and have fun, have a great week. And as always, be grateful, live balanced, and be yourself. If you'd like to become a patron, the link is in the bio. You can check that out. You can check out our meetup, which is cartoonartscenter.com. Link should be in the bio. And if not, there's a link on my website, which definitely is in description at aliciadianne.com. Okay, have a great week, you guys. See you next time.